It was the kind of winter evening that cut through your bones, cold, gray, and unwelcoming. The city moved around her, but no one noticed the girl. She sat alone at the bus stop, barefoot, shivering, clutching a baby in her arms. Her coat was thin, her face pale, lips trembling from more than just the cold. The baby whimpered, a tiny sound, barely a breath, but not even that cry could break through the indifference of strangers. People passed, they glanced. Then they looked away. No one asked if she was okay. No one stopped. She didn't call out. Didn't beg. She had already done enough of that. Instead, she whispered softly, rocking the tiny baby in her arms. I've got you, Jamie. I've got you. His name was Jamie, her baby brother, and she was only 15, just 3 days. Earlier, she had made the choice. She had run. The foster home was supposed to be a safe place, but safety never lived there, not with Mr. Daniels lurking in the hallway at night, not with locks on the fridge and slaps in place of sympathy. She had waited until everyone was asleep, wrapped Jamie in a blanket, took $4 from the kitchen drawer, and left. No one followed. No one came after her. And now, here she was, at a frozen bus stop. No plan, no food. Just a sick baby, in a world that didn't see her. Until something stirred in the dark. Soft footsteps. Pause. She looked up, heart pounding. Out of the shadows came a dog, large, silent, limping slightly. A German shepherd. She stiffened. Go. Away, she whispered. But the dog didn't move. Sat down, just a few feet away, watching, not growling, not barking, just watching. I don't have food, she said again, more sharply. Still, it stayed. She looked down, then back at the dog. Its eyes flicked toward Jamie, then back to her. It was like it understood. Half an hour passed. The baby whimpered again. She reached into her backpack, an empty bottle, a crust of stolen bread. Her stomach ached, her head spun. The dog inched forward, then dropped something at her feet. A scarf. Old, dirty, but warm. She blinked. Where did you get this? The dog wagged its tail once, almost as if to say, it doesn't matter. She wrapped the scarf around Jamie's chest. He stopped crying for the first time in hours. And the dog? It lay down beside them, right between her and the sidewalk. Standing. Guard, that night, for the first time in days. Emily slept. When she woke up, the world was still cold, but she wasn't alone. Snow had fallen lightly. The dog's fur was dusted white. You're still here? She whispered. It tilted its head. She reached out slowly, hand trembling. Touched its muzzle. Warm. Solid. Real. You need a name, she said, looking across the street at the long shadows from the bare trees. Shadow, she whispered. The dog thumped its tail. Shadow it is. She smiled just a little, but peace never lasted long. Later that day, as she sat in the same spot, trying to warm the baby against her chest, a man approached. His eyes were red, jacket-stained. He swayed slightly. You all right? He asked. Voice slurred. I'm fine, she said, without meeting his eyes. He stepped closer. That your baby? She tensed. Please go away. He grinned. Don't be like that. He reached for her arm, and then a sound like thunder, a growl. Deep, ferocious. Shadow had stepped between them. His teeth bared, eyes locked on the man. The drunk backed off instantly. All right, damn mutt. He stumbled away, cursing under. His breath. Emily was shaking. Shadow turned, looked up at her with soft eyes. She broke. Buried her face into his fur and cried like she hadn't in years. When night came, Shadow nudged her hand. Stood, walked a few feet. Looked back. He wanted her to follow. She hesitated, but then got up, holding Jamie tightly. Shadow led her down an alley, through a gap in a broken fence, behind an old mechanic shop. There, hidden in the shadows, was an abandoned shed. Shadow pushed. The rotted door open. Inside, dry cardboard rags, a broken space heater. She sank to the floor, wrapping Jamie in everything she could find. Shadow, he's curled around them. She whispered into his fur. I don't know who you are, or why you found me. Her voice cracked. But you're the only one who saw me. Shadow laid his head on her knee and closed his eyes, but peace, again, didn't last. That night, Jamie grew hot. His face flushed, breathing shallow. No. No, please. Emily rocked him, terrified. He was burning up, crying. His cries got weaker with every breath. She panicked, held him tighter. I can't lose him. Not him too. Shadow stood suddenly, barked once, and disappeared into the dark. She screamed after him. He didn't come back. She thought he was gone. Everyone. Leaves hours passed then, barking far. Off. Rapid, urgent, footsteps. Voices. A flashlight beam lit up the shed. Who's in here? A man stepped in, middle-aged, bearded, rugged coat. The dog he brought me here said something was wrong. Emily flinched, shielding Jamie. I'm Tom. I'm not going to hurt you, but that baby's in trouble. He stepped closer, gently. Picked up Jamie. Emily didn't stop him. She couldn't. Tom wrapped the baby in blankets, checked his temperature, gave him something to bring the fever down. Then he called 911. The ambulance came quickly. He's in bad shape, one of them said. But we got here just in time. Emily collapsed onto the cold floor. Shadow sat beside her, pressing his head to her shoulder. But when they took Jamie in the ambulance, they didn't take her. They said she had to stay. She screamed, fought, cried. Then Tom stepped forward. I'll take responsibility, he said, for both of them. Everyone turned. She's scared, Tom said quietly, but she's brave. And that dog didn't come to me for nothing. Emily looked at him. He nodded. You're not alone anymore. Tom kept his word. He didn't just take Emily in. He gave her something she hadn't had in a very long time. Safety. Warmth. A place to rest without fear. The first night at his small but clean home, Emily sat on the edge of her real bed, her arms wrapped around her knees. The room smelled like wood polish and cinnamon, the same smell as the scarf Shadow brought her that night. Shadow lay at the foot of the bed, never taking his eyes off her. I don't know what to do now, she whispered. Shadow didn't answer. But his presence did. You don't have to do it alone anymore. Jamie spent 2 nights in the hospital. Doctors said he had a severe respiratory infection, likely worsened by the cold. He was lucky to survive, but it wasn't luck. It was Shadow. Emily knew it. When she finally got to hold Jamie again, his skin was warm, his eyes open. She cried into his little chest for nearly an hour, whispering, I'm sorry, over and over again. Tom stood in the hallway, watching, not intruding. Just there. Over the next few days, social workers came. They asked questions. A lot of them. Some Emily answered. She couldn't. But every time her voice cracked, every time her hands started to shake, Shadow came and sat beside her. Just being there. That was enough. Tom vouched for her. I can give her a stable home, he said. I'm not perfect. I've got experience. And that kid, she's got more courage than most grown men I served with. The system hesitated, but not for long. They approved temporary placement. It wasn't permanent, but it was a start. Winter slowly gave way. To spring, the air grew softer. The sun lingered a little longer each day. Emily started attending school again. Not at a building, not yet, but online. Tom helped her sign up, sat beside her when she got overwhelmed. He never pushed, just encouraged. You're smarter than you think, he told her. Sometimes she believed him. Sometimes, not yet. But Shadow was always there, following her from room to room, leaping at her feet. Watching over Jamie as if he was born for that job, Emily laughed for the first time in weeks the day she found him trying to wear one of Jamie's bibs. You're ridiculous, she giggled, taking it off him. Shadow wagged his tail proudly. But healing isn't a straight road. One night the phone rang. Tom answered. His face changed. He walked outside, stayed there for a long time. When he came back in, Emily looked up. What is it? He hesitated. They found Mr. Daniels. Her chest tightened. He's denying everything, Tom continued. But the authorities are investigating. The other kids in that house are being relocated. Emily nodded slowly. Will they? Will they come after me? Tom sat beside her. No, he said firmly. They won't. She believed him. But she still held Shadow a little tighter that night. A few days later, Emily sat on the porch with Shadow. Jamie was asleep inside. Tom was fixing something in the garage. She looked at the dog beside her. You saved me, she whispered. Shadow blinked. No one else even saw me. Not once. But you did. The dog rested his head on her lap. Where? Did you come from? She murmured. How did you know? Tom overheard, and for the first time, he told her the truth. Shadow wasn't just any stray. He'd once belonged to Tom's son, Matt, a canine handler in the army. They'd served together overseas. One mission went wrong. Matt didn't make it. Shadow did. He came back changed. Quiet, alert, always watching doors and windows. Always ready to protect. Tom had tried to keep him, but Shadow wouldn't stay inside. He'd disappear for hours, sometimes days, always coming back. Always watching over the neighborhood like a silent guardian. Until one day, he didn't come back. Tom searched. Posted flyers. Nothing now. Months later, Shadow had returned, and he'd brought someone with him. Tom's voice cracked as he said it. I think Matt trained him to find people who were lost. Emily's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Shadow, resting peacefully at her feet. Then he found the right one. The seasons turned again. Emily got stronger. She laughed more often, ate without hiding food in her pockets, took care of. Jamie, like a mother 3 times her age, Tom eventually applied to adopt them. It wasn't easy. The background checks, the court hearings, the questions. But he never gave up. And one summer morning, in a small courtroom, with sunlight pouring through the windows, the judge smiled and said the words Emily never thought she'd hear. You're officially a family now. She sobbed into Tom's chest. Jamie cooed from her arms. Shadow barked once, proud and alert. Years passed. Emily grew. Graduated high school, got a part-time job helping foster kids transition into safer homes. Jamie grew into a bright, funny little boy with an obsession for dogs and a habit of hiding cookies for Shadow under the couch cushions. Shadow grew older, slower. His eyes clouded with time. His steps became careful, but he still stood between them and every door at night. Still waited by Jamie's crib, still curled at Emily's feet during storms then. One autumn morning, didn't wake up. Emily found him under the porch, curled. In a patch of sun, peaceful still. She didn't cry at first, just sat beside him, petting his fur, whispering stories only he had ever heard. Then the tears came. Long, silent, grateful. They buried him beneath the big oak tree in the backyard. Emily placed a small stone on the ground. No name, just 2 words carved with her hand. He saw, because that's what Shadow did. He saw what others ignored. He saw the girl no one would help. He saw the baby it would have taken away. He saw the pain, the fear, the fight to survive. And instead of walking away, he stayed, he protected, he loved. Even now, Emily sometimes sits on the porch and imagines she can hear those soft footsteps again. Steady paws on pavement. Moving through the shadows, Jamie swears he still hears scratching at the door some nights, and maybe they do. Maybe love like that never truly leaves. Because once, on a freezing winter night, a girl and her baby were invisible to the world, until a German shepherd appeared and changed everything.